Story 23. Susie Littletail's Hot Cross Buns. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Read by Clarica. Sammie and Susie Littletail by Howard R. Garis. Let's see, where did we leave off last night? Oh, I remember now. It was about how Sammie fell down and hurt his nose, wasn't it? Oh, no, it wasn't either. It was about how he was colored sky blue pink, to be sure. Well, now I'm going to tell you about hot cross buns, how Susie Littletail made some very especially fine ones, and what happened to them. But the last part is a secret, so I wish you wouldn't tell anyone. Susie was out skipping her grapevine rope and thinking what a nice day it was when her mamma called to her. "Susie, don't you want to help Nurse Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy make some hot cross buns?" "Of course," the little rabbit girl said, and being a very kind little creature, she added, "Can Sammie help me, mamma?" "Oh, I don't want to," said Sammie, who was playing marbles with Bully the frog. They were using old hickory nuts and acorns for their shooters and for the agates in the ring. "I'm going to be a soldier or run an automobile when I grow up, so I don't want to learn to cook." "Humph! I guess soldiers and automobile men are glad enough to eat when some one else cooks for them," said Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy. "Anyhow, I can't have you mussing around my kitchen, Sammie, so Susie is the only one who can help me make hot cross buns." "Ask her if we can have the batter dishes and the one she mixes the frosting in to clean out," proposed Bully, in a whisper, and when Sammie asked the nurse, who was also a cook, she said, "Oh, I suppose so. But don't come around bothering while Susie and I are busy. I'll set the dishes out for you." Then Sammie and Bully felt very good, for it's lots of fun to clean out the cake dishes when anyone is baking, especially when hot cross buns are being made. So the little boy rabbit and the little frog, who was such a good jumper, played marbles under the trees in the big woods. Then Susie and Nurse Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy went to work in the kitchen. First they took some flour, milk, eggs, sugar, and whatever else goes into hot cross buns, and mixed them all up in a big dish. "Oh, my, how good that smells!" exclaimed Susie. "Won't Sammie and Bully be glad to get that?" "Yes," said the nurse cook. "But now we must make the frosting to go on top, and I think I'll mix in it some of the maple sugar that Uncle Wiggily boiled." "Oh, fine!" exclaimed Susie, and she clapped her two front paws together, she was so glad. So she and Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy made a nice dish of maple sugar frosting to go on top of the buns when they were baked. "Now," said the cook, after a little while, "we must get the pans ready to bake them in, and as we haven't much room in the kitchen, we will just set the dish of dough and the frosting out on the window sill, where they won't be in our way. As soon as we have the tins greased, we will make the buns and put them in the oven to bake." So the nice, sweet, good-smelling and good-tasting batter and the dish of maple sugar frosting were set outside on the window sill. Oh, how nice it smelled! It's a good thing that sly old fox wasn't around, I tell you. Well, after a while, Sammie and Bully got tired of playing marbles, and they walked around to the back of the underground house. And what do you think? If Bully didn't see those dishes that had been set out on the window sill. Yes, indeed, he saw them. Oh, he had sharp eyes, let me tell you. "Look here," he cried to Sammie. "They've put the stuff out for us. Oh, what a lot of it! Nice sweet batter and nice maple sugar frosting. How kind they are!" "Do you s'pose all this is for us?" asked Sammie, who, whenever he cleaned out the baking dishes, had never seen so much as that in them. "Of course it is," answered Bully. "Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy said she'd put it out for us, and here it is out. Of course it must be for us." Well, Sammie thought so too, after that, and then the little boy rabbit and Bully sat down with those two dishes that had stuff in to make hot cross buns, and they began to eat it all up. And after a while, when it was pretty nearly all gone, who should come limping along but Uncle Wiggily Longears. "Well, well," he said, just like that. "What have we here?" Then Sammie told him how the good stuff had been left out by Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy. "My goodness me!" exclaimed the old rabbit, leaning on his cornstalk crutch. "How very odd!" "Would you like some?" asked Bully the frog, very, very politely. "Indeed I would," answered Uncle Wiggily Longears. So they gave him some, and it tasted just as good as when he was a little boy rabbit. But just as the last of the sweet batter and the maple sugar frosting was eaten up, what should happen but that Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy went to the window to take it in to bake, and of course it was gone. Well, you should have seen how surprised she was. She was going to scold Sammie and Bully, only they said it was all a mistake. So they didn't get a whipping, and very luckily there was enough more stuff in the burrow to make more hot cross buns. So Jane Fuzzy Wuzzy and Susie mixed up some, and these were soon baking in the oven. And oh, how good they smelled! And they tasted as good as they smelled, each one with a maple sugar cross on. Now tomorrow night, if you would like me to, I'll tell you about hiding the Easter eggs. End of Story 23.